Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. I thank you again for joining me today. And today, I was going to do this video popped up, this idea popped up, I don't know, just couple hours ago. I was reading a little article in a book, and I wanted to share it with you. And it comes out of the book. It's called, Occult Holidays or God's Holy Days, Which by Fred R. Coulter. I was just reading the book. And in the back in the appendix, he in appendix it talks about appendix A, Halloween and the flood of Noah. Is there a link? Now, I'll leave it up to you, to decide. I just thought it was intriguing. I wanted to share it with you, but is it biblically sound? I mean, here I'm going to read it to you and excuse some of these newer words. I think they're like months and stuff like that. I try to pronounce them the best way I can, but I'm going to read it right here. And it states right here: following the dispersion of mankind at the Tower of Babel, Genesis 11, virtually every ensuing culture has maintained a legend regarding a great flood. Often, as we will see, such traditions are also associated with a great day of death, as well as a new beginning, linked to salvation of Noah and his family. Increasingly, these traditions are all tied to the fall of the year, especially the end of October and the beginning of November. Is it possible, as the evidence suggests, that there is a connection between the flood of Noah's time and the pagan holiday known today as Halloween? Was the flood and the fall of the year? Many scholars believe that, such like today's Jewish calendar, the calendar employed in Genesis began in the fall, with the first month beginning somewhere from mid-September to mid-October. Genesis chapter 7 verse 11 states that the flood began in the second month, the 17th day of the month. Therefore, this could easily place the beginning of the flood at the end of October or the beginning of November. A year later, on the 27th day of the second month, Noah and his family left the ark, their salvation complete. Thus, a new year began around the 1st of November. One scholar states, what is often overlooked, however, is that there is, in addition to the great flood legend, the remembrance of the Day of the Dead, followed by a new year. This occurs on our Roman calendar at the end of October or the beginning of November. That's Frank Humphrey, The Great Flood and Halloween book. The following examples serve to illustrate how widespread the tradition of the Day of the Dead and the November New Year had become. Note the many themes that correspond to Halloween. Okay, in Egypt, it has been long known that the ship of Isis and the chest or coffin of Osiris, note the death theme, which floated on the waters for a year, are confused Egyptians' recollection of the Great Flood. Plutarch says that Osiris was shut up in his box and set afloat on the 17th day of the month of Athyr, when nights were growing long and the days decreasing. In Plutarch's time, Athyr did in fact coincide with October and November. And another one right here, in ancient Assyria, the ceremonies for the souls of the dead were in the month of Shamna, which is Marcheswan, the month of Heshvan on the Jewish calendar, which is mid-October to mid-November. And Shamna, the sun god, became lord of the land of the dead. In India, the Hindu Durga festival of the dead was originally connected to their new year, which commenced in November. In Iran, the Persians commenced their new year in November in the month which was named Mordad month, the month of the angel of death. In the fall of the year, the Aboriginal Australians painted white stripes on their legs and arms to resemble skeletons. In French Polynesia, the inhabitants pray for the spirits of the departed ancestors at the end of their New Year celebration in November. In Peru, the Incas' New Year commenced in November, and the festival called Yamarca, carrying of the corpse, concluded with the placing of the food and drink in graves. The Mexican Aztecs, too, kept the Day of the Dead at the same fall time of the year. In many parts of Europe, November 2nd is All Souls' Day, the Day of the Dead. In France, it is Le Jour des Morts, Christianized now for centuries, but still at the heart of the old Day of the Dead when flowers are taken to the tombs. The early Anglo-Saxons called November Blood Month, while Celtic inhabitants of Britain kept their New Year in November. In Wales and Scotland, early November is a time for ghosts to be remembered. Humphrey concludes the legends cited above are found all over the world in cultures radically distinct from one another, and yet they all have a common remembrance of death and a new beginning at the end of October and the beginning of November. Is this mere coincidence, or does the evidence presented hint at a true origin of Halloween? Is Halloween, in fact, a sort of morbid memorial to the wicked that God destroyed by Noah's flood? Humphrey suggests that perhaps like the Great Flood, Halloween itself is a sober reminder both of God's judgment on human rebellion and his offer of deliverance to those who put their trust in his mercy. So that was the article in the book, and it did fascinate me, and I was like thinking about that, I was like, wow, I was like, is there, a common denominator with all these cultures that, the worship, the Day of the Dead, worship of the dead, whatever you want to call it, it's just kind of intriguing. I just wanted to share it with you, and if you want, please let me know what you think about it, and, comment below. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And anyways, that's all I want to say right now. And I thank you again for joining me. Please give me a big thumbs up and be a subscriber, and also hit that notification bell. Watch my other past videos, by the way. I got other good videos, and I got more coming. So that's all I have to say right now. And I thank you again for joining me. And, it means a lot to me, and I thank you again. Till we meet again, peace out and shalom.